Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you with another version of Cards That Make My Dick Hurt. Sorry for a very over-flooded amount of these videos, but I haven't done it in a while, and there's a lot of other cards I want to talk about. This one is going to be a card that we saw in the last episode of Vanguard, episode 158, I think? Don't hold me to that, I think it's 158. But it was the Ren versus Kai, and there's going to be some talk about the cards that came in Kai's pack. That will be in the next one, so if you want to see that one, go check that one after you watch this one. This one we're going to be talking about the card that Ren revealed to be his new trump card, or his new ultimate finisher. It is the new Cross Break Ride version unit for Revengers, or Shadow Paladins, and his name is Revenger Drag Ruler Phantom. And he is amazing. And here is his ability. His ability is Limit Break. If you have 4 or more damage, you may Counterblast 1 and choose 2 of your rear guards with Revenger in its card name and retire them. And then it gets this ability. This unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of turn, and if the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 4 or less, your opponent's Vanguard is dealt 1 damage. So you sack off 2 rear guards, your Vanguard receives plus 10,000 power, and your opponent is going to have to do a damage check right then, without even an attack being dealt to it. It's just going to immediately take 1 damage. And then its standard ability when a cross ride is put into play. If you have a card named Illusionary Revenger Mordred Phantom in the Soul, this unit receives plus 2,000 power. Keep in mind, when Drag Ruler Phantom cross break rides on top of Mordred Phantom, it will also receive the ability to receive an additional plus 10,000 power and the ability to Counterblast 1 to Superior Call any Shadow Paladin out of the deck, and that unit will receive plus 5,000 power. So, this is amazing, guys. We knew we were going to see a cross break ride version of a Shadow Paladin card eventually, because we've seen it with Royal Paladin, and we've seen it with Gold Paladin, so it's only fair that Shadow Paladin gets one too. And this is amazing, guys. This is something that is groundbreaking, because it is the first card ever that deals damage for not having been attacked. If your opponent's at 4 damage, they're going to take a damage, which will put them to 5, which means they're then going to have to... The notion of saying no guard to your opponent's Vanguard attack and hoping they don't pull a critical trigger is not there anymore. Because sometimes you have to do that. When you're at 4 damage and your opponent attacks you for a very high number, and you can't guard it, or you wouldn't have enough to guard the other 2 attacks if you did commit to guarding it, sometimes you literally just have to say no guard and hope they don't pull a critical trigger and accept whatever happens. That's just how Vanguard is. It's a game of numbers. And now that is not even an option anymore. So Drag Ruler Phantom, he sits at 11k as a base. You're going to break ride him on top of Mordred Phantom. You're going to Counterblast 1 to Superior Call 1 card out of the deck. It's going to gain 5,000 power, and Drag Ruler will receive plus 10,000 power. So now he's at 21. Then you can use his Limit Break to Counterblast... I missed that part. And then you use his ability to Counterblast 1 again and sack off 2 Shadow Paladin Revengers, and he gains another plus 10,000 power, putting him at 31,000, and then your opponent is going to take a damage. So now he's sitting at 31,000, 10,000 from the break ride, 10,000 from the limit break. He's sitting at 31. And then, since the Mordred Phantom's in the Soul, he gains an additional 2,000 power, putting him at 33,000 without a boost, which is amazing. So this takes away the option for your opponent to take your Vanguard's ultimate attack, if it's not criticaled, and hope that it doesn't get to go critical when they do their twin drive. So this card is pretty dumb. Keep in mind, in order to use this ability, your opponent must be at 5 or less damage, because if your opponent's at 5 damage, you can't do it. I mean, your opponent has to be at 4 or less damage. Because if your opponent's at 5 damage and you can do this, all you'd have to do is break ride, cross break ride, counterblast 1, sack off 2 Revengers, you take a damage, I win. And that wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair at all. So anyway, guys, this is the new cross break ride version of that we've seen. And out of all the cross break rides we've seen, I would venture to say this is my favorite one yet. I think Drag Ruler is an amazing card. We've seen Shadow Paladins evolve so much. We very first were introduced to Shadow Paladins when they were that. You know, and then we got that, and then we got Revenger, Raging Form, and now we have this. So Shadow Paladins have evolved a lot. Can't say enough about this card. This is making Shadow Paladins the best version of them yet. So very, very awesome card. Cannot wait to play this. Awesome, and I love the artwork. So if you haven't checked the artwork out, I try to remember to post the link to these cards on the Wikia in the link in the description below. But if I don't do that, go to the Wikia and just check it out for yourself. It's in set 15, Infinite Rebirth. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. In the comment section below, feel free to share your input on this card. Thumbs up the video for me, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you later.